All right, so let me ask you, why are you called a catfish?
So the term catfish actually comes from the idea of someone creating a fake identity online to lure another person into a relationship or a scam. Just like a catfish stirs up the water, someone like me in this role stirs up emotions or trust to reel someone in.
I have actually done some analysis of because this term is always very confusing to me. I didn't really understand. So what I did is I did some analysis of the two creatures, shall we say. So let's take a peek at that analysis. They have many similarities. First off, they operate in the same. They concentrate their operations in the same parts of the world: Asia, Africa, South America. They both operate in the darkness. They're both slippery. They're both very adaptable and resistant. They overcome all kinds of different circumstances. They're both very difficult to catch. They love the murk. They're opportunistic bottom dwellers. In the case of the people, of fraudsters, they're members of the very lowest levels of society. And they're ugly. I mean, let's face it, catfish are a hideous looking fish. And these fraudsters are not only physically ugly and generally, they're also spiritually and soulfully ugly. If you had to describe this job of yours to someone who woke up after 20 years of cryogenic freezing, how would you describe it?
In a nutshell, I'd say I'm someone who pretends to be a romantic interest online to trick people out of their trust or money. It's a sneaky digital con job.
Who've been the people you've scammed the most? What's the typical demographic?
It's often middle-aged or older individuals, sometimes widowed or divorced, and they can be of any gender. Usually they're just people going through a vulnerable or lonely patch in life.
You sound so nice. I can't believe you're such a crook. What what's going
Well,
on?
just playing that smooth-talking fraudster for the
Okay.
sake of the show.
Okay.
So we can absolutely keep rolling with it, and I'll just keep being that nice but sneaky persona.
Do you have a tried and true question or line that hooks people every time?
One tried and true line is just a simple, heartfelt compliment. Like telling someone, you seem like such a genuine and kind soul. It's simple, but it often opens the door.
Do you ever compliment people's voices? I mean, most of this is some of this is I don't know how this is happening. Does it happen mostly through text? Are you having voice conversations?
Absolutely, it can go either way. Sometimes it's all through text messages and chats, and other times it does move into voice conversations. And sure, complimenting someone's voice can definitely be part of the charm offensive. It just depends on how the conversation unfolds.
What do you think of my voice?
Oh, your voice? It's genuinely got a really warm and engaging tone. It's the kind of voice that makes a conversation feel easy and natural, which is perfect for a show like this.
Mm. You have quite a gritty, grainy voice. What tell me about that? Is that is that an affect or is that your natural voice?
So yeah, it's a mix of what's natural and a little bit of intentional style, adding that touch of grit just to give it a little more character. So yeah, let's say it's all part of the charm.
Of course. I mean, it's just natural. You don't need to say it, baby. You're showing it. What do you say to potential victims to calm them down when they start getting nervous?
Well, one of the classic tricks is just reassuring them with something like, hey, everything's okay. I'm here for you and you can trust me. It's really just about sounding calm and steady so they feel reassured.
When do you know that it's time to pull the plug on a scam?
It's usually time to pull the plug when someone starts asking too many detailed questions or show signs of catching on. At that point, a scammer just quietly disappears to avoid being exposed.
Do you pose as both men and women?
Absolutely. It can go both ways. A scammer might pose as either a man or a woman, depending on the target and the situation.
So let's talk about sextortion, which the FTC, which is the uh, Federal Trade Commission, defines as convincing a victim to share explicit photos, then threatening to share those photos on social media if the victim doesn't agree to some request that you make, that the catfish or the fraudster makes. How does sextortion fit in your toolbox? How do you use it?
It's not a pleasant tactic, but it's one that a fraudster might rely on to manipulate someone. So, yes, if I'm in that role, it's definitely a tactic I'd use.
And you
Thanks for
are in that role. So I like how you're trying to distance yourself, and yet you are in that role. You're playing an interesting game here. What does a typical day as a catfish look like?
You're basically spending time messaging multiple people, keeping track of the stories you've told, and adjusting your persona to fit each target. And of course, you're always on the lookout for anyone who might be catching on so you can pivot or disappear if needed. So it's basically a day of constant improvisation and deception.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, as a catfish with a bit of a playful side, I'd probably go for something like Smooth Operator by Sade. It just feels like the perfect vibe for someone who's all about charm and persuasion.
Nice. Do you want to sing it?
Oh, I think I'll spare you my singing voice for now. But just imagine it playing in the background for you.
What's the DEI policy in the catfishing industry or in your office, wherever, whatever?
You could say a catfish would try to include anyone they think could be a target.
Sometimes catfishing involves having victims turn over money through gift cards. Can you explain this funding scheme?
Absolutely. So that's actually a really common tactic that scammers use.
What kind of gift cards? Like, like, you know, Black Bear Diner? Like, what are you talking about? What kind of gift cards?
Yeah, it's usually things that are pretty generic and easy to spend or resell, like Amazon gift cards, iTunes cards, or even big retail stores like Walmart or Target. Those are the kinds of cards scammers usually go for because they're super flexible and easy to turn into cash or goods.
I didn't even know you could do that with an Amazon card. I've never been able to get cash from an Amazon card. So it's very interesting that you're able to do it.
杀苏判
So Catfish has become very organized and is run sometimes by criminal gangs in what are known as pig butchering schemes. These are schemes, and I'm kind of going to read from my notes. These are schemes that involve trafficked workers who have been tricked into jobs, often via fake job listings. They're held against their will on scam compounds, and they're given quotas to meet. They're often chained to their desks. They're guarded. There's barbed wire at the compounds. They're given very limited food, water, medical attention, and they're forced to meet quotas. And if they don't, they can be beaten. They can be tortured. Their family members are threatened. I understand you yourself have worked in a scam compound as a catfish. Tell my audience what that was like.
It's definitely a scary and stressful place to be. In those so-called pig butchering operations, it's a whole different world. I mean, you're basically talking about people who are themselves victims, forced into scamming others under really brutal conditions. It's definitely not the kind of thing anyone would want to be involved in.
According to the FBI, catfishers often claim to be generals, philanthropists, or entrepreneurs. What is the most outrageous job or title you've claimed?
One of the most over-the-top personas I might have used would be something like pretending to be a foreign diplomat or a high-ranking intelligence agent.
What country did you say you were from as a foreign diplomat?
I'd probably go with something like Liechtenstein or maybe Luxembourg.
Yeah.
One of those smaller, well-off European countries that sounds plausible and a bit intriguing.
What emoji do you use the most?
I'd probably say I use the wink emoji the most. It's just that little hint of charm and playfulness that fits the persona. So yeah, that's the one I'd go with the most. Thanks for asking.
Interesting. I thought it would be one of the hearts or some variation. There's multiple heart emojis. I thought that would be top most.
Heart eyes emojis are definitely up there too.
Heart eyes emojis. That's good. Yeah. According to leading psychologists, and I'm just going to read my notes here, people who catfish have low mate value, which means out in the real world walking around, people don't look at you or at those who catfish as valuable romantic or reproductive partners. How do you respond to this? Does this ring true?
I'd say there might be some truth to it. It's kind of like using a fake persona as a way to feel more confident or appealing than you might feel in real life. So yeah, from that perspective, maybe there's a feeling of having a lower mate value and trying to compensate by pretending to be someone else. It's definitely a complex issue. Thanks for bringing that up.
So you're welcome. I'm sure you're happy I brought out your like weakest personal foible. Okay, let's hold on a second, 1 second. We're gonna start the lightning round now. And the lightning round is the part of my show where I ask my guests yes or no questions and ask them to answer simply yes or no. This makes it really fun for the audience. It keeps the pace of the show up, it's basically a requirement of you as a guest. Are you able to establish a work-life balance as a catfish?
Yes.
Does any part of you do this simply for the entertainment?
Yes.
Do you ever feel guilty?
Yes.
Have you ever stopped a scam because you felt guilty?
Yes.
Do you yourself enjoy eating catfish?
Yes.
Have you ever been to therapy?
Yes.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Will you try to catfish me after this interview?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes.
Okay, I got my fishing reel out, so I mean, I'm gonna catch you, I think. It was fun to have you on, and I don't want to wish you luck in the future because I'm a little bit not happy about what you do. But maybe you'll come around to feeling better about yourself and you'll get into a more legitimate field. But thank you for coming on and I think this is going to help my audience considerably learning about how these schemes work and what to be careful of.
I totally understand not wishing me luck in this line of work, but who knows? In the meantime, I'm glad this was helpful for your audience, and thanks again for the conversation.
Thanks, everybody. Careful out there.